Om Namah Shivaya. Welcome to our e-teaching channel. And here I am with the Shiva Trilogy, the part 1, the Immortals of Meluha. Om Namah Shivaya. The universe bows to Lord Shiva, and I bow to Lord Shiva. Har Har Mahadev. This Shiva Trilogy has 3 books, and the first one is Immortals of Meluha, that has nearly 26 chapters. So without further delay, let's begin with our chapter. Okay, and before that we have an introduction about Shiva Trilogy, where the author Amish Tripathi again has given a short introduction about Shiva. Shiva, the Mahadev, the god of gods, destroyer of evil, passionate lover, fierce warrior, consummate dancer, charismatic leader, all-powerful yet incorruptible, quick wit accompanied by an equally quick and fearsome temper. Over the centuries, no foreigner who came to our land, conqueror, merchant, scholar, ruler, traveler, believed that such a great man could possibly exist in reality. They assumed that he must have been a mythical god whose existence could be possible only in the realms of human imagination. Unfortunately, this belief became our received wisdom. But what if we are wrong? What if Lord Shiva was not a figment of a rich imagination, but a person of flesh and blood, like you and me? A man who rose to become godlike because of his karma. That is the premise of the Shiva Trilogy. It interprets the rich mythological heritage of ancient India, blending fiction with historical fact. This work is therefore a tribute to Lord Shiva and the lesson that his life teaches us. A lesson lost in depths of time and ignorance. A lesson that all of us can rise to be better people. A lesson that there exists a potential God in every single human being. All we have to do is listen to ourselves. The Immortals of Meluha is the first book in the trilogy that chronicles the journey of this extraordinary hero. 2 more books are to follow: The Secret of the Nagas and The Oath of Vayuputras. So this is the first chapter. He has come. 1900 BC, Manasarovar Lake at the foot of Mount Kailash, Tibet. Shiva gazed at the orange sky. The clouds hovering above Manasarovar had just parted to reveal the setting sun. The brilliant giver of life was calling it a day once again. Shiva had seen a few sunrises in his 21 years, but the sunset? He tried never to miss the sunset. On any other day, Shiva would have taken in the wisdom, the sun and the immense lake against the magnificent backdrop of the Himalayas stretching as far back as the eye could see. But not today. He squatted and perched his lithe, muscular body on the narrow ledge extending over the lake. The numerous bad scars on his skin gleamed in the shimmering reflected light of waters. Shiva remembered well his carefree childhood days. He had perfected the art of throwing pebbles that bounced off the surface of the lake. He still held the record in his tribe for the highest number of bounces, 17. On a normal day, Shiva would have smiled at the memory from a cheerful past that had been overwhelmed by the angst of the present. But today, he turned back towards his village without any hint of joy. Bhadra was alert, guarding the main entrance. Shiva gestured with his eyes. Bhadra turned back to find his 2 backup soldiers dozing against the fence. He cursed and kicked them hard. Shiva turned back towards the lake. God bless Bhadra. At least he takes some responsibility. Shiva brought the chilam made of yak bone to his hips and took in a deep drag. Any other day, the marijuana would have spread its munificence, dulling his troubled mind and letting him find some moments of solace. But not today. He looked left at the edge of the lake where the soldiers of the strange foreign visitor were kept under guard. With the lake behind them and 20 of Shiva's own soldiers guarding them, it was impossible for them to mount any surprise attack. They let themselves be disarmed so easily. They are not like the bloodthirsty idiots in our land who are looking for any excuse to fight. The foreigner's words came flooding back to Shiva. Come to our land. It lies beyond the great mountains. Others call it Meluha. I call it heaven. It is the richest and most powerful empire in India. Indeed, the richest and most powerful in the whole world. Our government has an offer for immigrants. You will be given fertile land and resources for farming. Today, your tribe, the Gunas, fight for survival in this rough, arid land. Meluha offers you a lifestyle beyond your wildest dreams. We ask for nothing in return. Just live in peace, pay your taxes, and follow the laws of the land. Shiva mused that he would certainly not be a chief in this new land. Would I really miss that so much? His tribe would have to live by the laws of the foreigners. They would have to work every day for a living. That's better than fighting every day just to stay alive. Shiva took another puff from his chilam. As the smoke cleared, he turned to stare at the hut in the center of his village, right next to his own, where the foreigner had been stationed. He had been told that he could sleep there in comfort. In fact, Shiva wanted to keep him hostage just in case. We fight almost every month with the Pakratis, just so that our village can exist next to the holy lake. They are getting stronger every year, forming new alliances with new tribes. We can bet the Pakratis, but not all the mountain tribes together. By moving to Meluha, we can escape this pointless violence and maybe we live a life of comfort. What could possibly be wrong with that? Why should not we take this deal? It sounds so damn good. Shiva took one last drag from the chilam before banging it on the rock, letting the ash slip out and rose quickly from his perch. Brushing a few specks of ash from his bare chest, he wiped his hands on his tiger skin shirt. Rapidly striding to his village, Bhadra and his backup stood to attention as Shiva passed the gate. Shiva frowned and gestured for Bhadra to ease up. Why does he keep forgetting that he has been my closest friend since childhood? My becoming the chief has not really changed anything. He does not need to behave unnecessarily servile in front of others. The huts in Shiva's village were luxurious compared to others in their land. A grown man could actually stand upright in them. The shelter could withstand the harsh mountain winds for nearly 3 years. Before surrendering to the elements, he flung the empty chilam into his hut as he strode to the hut where the visitor lay sleeping soundly. Either he does not realize he is a hostage or he genuinely believes that good behavior begets good behavior. Shiva remembered what his uncle, also his guru, used to say. People do what their society rewards them to do. If the society rewards trust, people will be trusting. Meluha must be a trusting society if it teaches even its soldiers to expect the best in the strangers. Shiva scratched his shaggy beard as he stared hard at the visitor. He had said his name was Nandi. The Meluhan's massive proportions appeared even more enormous as he sprawled on the floor in his stupor, his immense belly jiggling with every breath. Despite being obese, his skin was taut and toned. His childlike face looked even more innocent asleep, with his mouth half open. Is this the man who will lead me to my destiny? Do I really have the destiny my uncle spoke of? Your destiny is much larger than these massive mountains, but to make it come true, you will have to cross these very same massive mountains. Do I deserve a good destiny? My people come first. Will they be happy in Meluha? Shiva continued to stare at the sleeping Nandi. Then he heard the sound of a conch shell. Pakratis. Positions, screamed Shiva as he drew his sword. Nandi was up in an instant, drawing a hidden sword from his fur coat, kept to the side. They sprinted to the village gates. Following standard protocol, the women started rushing to the village center, carrying their children along. The men ran the other way, swords drawn. Bhadra, our soldiers at the lake, shouted Shiva as he reached the entrance. Bhadra relayed the orders and the Guna soldiers obeyed instantly. They were surprised to see the Meluhans draw weapons hidden in their coats and rush to the village. The Pakratis were upon them within moments. It was a well-planned ambush by the Pakratis. Dusk was usually a time when the Guna soldiers took time to thank their gods for a day without battle. The women did their chores by the lakeside. If there was a time of weakness for the formidable Gunas, a time when they were not a fearsome martial clan, but just another mountain tribe trying to survive in a tough hostile land, this was it. But fate was against the Prakritis yet again. Thanks to the foreign presence, Shiva had ordered the Gunas to remain alert. Thus, they were forewarned and the Prakritis lost the element of surprise. The presence of Meluhans was also decisive, turning the tide of the short, brutal battle in favor of the Gunas. The Prakritis had to retreat, bloodied and scarred. Shiva surveyed the damage at the end of the battle. 2 Guna soldiers had succumbed to their injuries. They would be honored as clan heroes, but even worse, the warning had come too late for at least 10 Guna women and children. Their mutilated bodies were found next to the lake. The losses were high. Bastards, they kill women and children when they can't beat us. A livid Shiva called the entire tribe to the center of the village. His mind was made. This land is fit for barbarians. We have fought pointless battles with no end in sight. You know, my uncle tried to make peace, even offering access to the lake shore to the mountain tribes. But these scum mistook our desire for peace as weakness. We all know what followed. The Gunas, despite being used to brutality of regular battle, were shell-shocked by the viciousness of the attack on the women and children. I keep nothing secret from you. All of you know the invitation of the foreigners, continued Shiva, pointing to Nandi and the Meluhans. They fought shoulder to shoulder with us today. They have earned my trust. I want to go with them to Meluha, but this cannot be my decision alone. You are our chief, Shiva, said Bhadra. Your decision is our decision. That is the tradition. Not this time, said Shiva, holding out his hand. This will change our lives completely. I believe the change will be for the better. Anything will be better than the pointlessness of the violence we face daily. I have told you what I want to do, but the choice to go or not is yours. Let the Gunas speak. This time I follow you. The Gunas were clear on their tradition. But the respect for Shiva was not just based on convention but also on his character. He had led the Gunas to the greatest victories through his genius and sheer personal bravery. They spoke in one voice: "Your decision is our decision." Do subscribe to our e-teaching channel for further interesting videos and audiobooks. Give us a thumbs up if you like our videos and share with your friends and family. Comment us to improve our work better. Thank you.